Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Well, I was reading the dictionary, but since you're here, I might as well get started. It's my favorite edition of the American Heritage College. Thousands of years, mankind has had one goal: to fly. The ancient Babylonians first said, "Whoa, look at the birds." Many attempts were made. The Wright brothers first achieved this miraculously. They flew like birds. Zoom. But their plane was not very efficient, and many designs followed, with gradual improvements until we reached this, the peak of human ingenuity. This balsa-wood, rubber band-powered Flyin Ted model airplane costs $6,400 to produce. We expect that the cost will increase as we scale the size up, perhaps linearly, perhaps exponentially, perhaps even, dare I say it, logarithmically. No, it's just linearly. But as the planes are mass-produced, we expect to see the cost per unit decrease due to strange economic concepts somewhere over there. The camera doesn't pan, so you can't see what I'm pointing at, but those are economic concepts that apply. The cargo capacity of the plane, it's very reverberating in here, is 2 dimes, or 4.56 grams, which is about 65% of the mass of a 7-gram plane. We determined that 2 dimes was the optimal payload for our model due to the rapid decrease in range when more than 2 dimes are added to the plane. Look at this graph. Yeah, look at that graph. If this design were to be implemented on a larger scale, and the cargo capacity percentage we're able to hold, it's likely that this Flyin Ted model, if it were the mass and size of a commercial cargo plane, it would be able to transport a whopping 26,000 whoppers, or kilograms of cargo. Your average C-130 cargo plane only carries about 50% of its mass, which is 50% less than what the Flyin Ted can carry, which is not bragging or anything, but the Flyin Ted machine uses torsion of rubber bands as fuel, which makes it highly renewable and relatively inexpensive. One downside is that it requires human labor to twist the rubber bands to store higher energy levels, which correspond directly to higher input energy levels. In contrast to cargo planes, the Flyin Ted model airplane is 100%, 200% environmentally friendly. How 200? Well, when we use the Flyin Ted model, and actually when we pass over third world countries and people look up, they feel a sense of inspiration. Because normally you see a plane that's just this metal behemoth, but when we have the Flyin Ted model purely balsa, they feel a sense of intimacy with what they have before them, as if they themselves can achieve what is up there. Now, do they achieve that? Perhaps not. But we are 200% environmentally friendly. It's also because we don't leave emissions, carbon footprint, and we have one very eco-friendly, clean source of fuel, which is rubber bands. which are non-toxic, meet the USDA and the FDA administration standards, they are consumable. They are. Yeah, we test them too to make sure they are consumable. That's it. The range of the model was about 18 meters, and on average, it flew for about 50 seconds at a velocity of about 0.36 meters per second. Speed. The range was tested under optimal conditions for the airplane with an 18-degree angle of attack, the 2-dyne payload, and the highest run band torque that our testing location would allow. Here we have some graphs. Wow. As the plane and its rubber motor are scaled up in size and mass, the range and velocity increase proportionally. Flyin Ted has an average range under ideal conditions of 2.5 kilometers per kilogram of plane and motor mass. Now, please take a look at the following graphs to see how the Flyin Ted stacks up against commercial airlines. So, is the Flyin Ted the future of aviation? I think so. Do you think so? I think you think so. Am I right? I think so. Do I know so? No. You know, so I don't know where I am. Do you know where I am? I don't know how to get home. So
You're still here. It's over. Go home.